I'm back with another .NET MAUI, .NET multi-platform app UI update, this time number 8, which brings with it all sorts of amazing hot reload for your XAML and C# and live previews inside of Visual Studio 2022 Preview 4. This is the biggest, most awesome release yet of the .NET MAUI previews, so tune in to get started with a single click. Hey everyone, I'm James Montemagno, and I'm back with another .NET MAUI preview, this time preview 8. That is right, number 8. This is the biggest update to .NET MAUI, and as far as the previews go, but also not only just development and SDKs, but also roadmap and updates for timelines on release. So a lot of updates going on here, so let's just honestly get into it. Now, .NET MAUI is your way of building native cross-platform iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows applications with C# from a single code base. And Scott Hunter here gave an update on the roadmap, not only for .NET 5 up to .NET 6, which just went RC, and he talked a little bit about here of exactly what .NET MAUI is all about. Now, what's really cool is that it's a single project, single solution, single code base, but you can also build hybrid applications with Blazor tucked right into your .NET MAUI applications. Now, we've been talking all along about estimates of the roadmaps coming out with the .NET 6 GA, which is in November. But here, the .NET team have been working obviously hard on .NET MAUI and all .NET and Visual Studio, and with the Visual Studio team, but collaborating with the community in the open on its development, looking forward to the release. The team has decided that, you know, for .NET MAUI, it's not going to be 100% ready for the .NET 6 GA in November. So to provide the best experience, performance, and quality on day one, they're going to slip the schedule just a little bit, and they're going to target Q2 of 2022 for the .NET MAUI GA. Now, this is great because you can, of course, keep updating along the way to .NET MAUI previews all the way up into GA, which will apparently happen now in Q2 of 2022. And I'll keep putting out videos of updates along the way. Now, Scott also highlights some really cool preview features here, including the new workload installation inside of Visual Studio 2022 Preview 4, which I'll talk about here. And this one's really cool, which is the XAML Live Preview and hot reloading of C# and XAML code all in one place, which is really, really cool. I'll show this off. I'm just amazed. So cool. There's some other updates, including simplified project structures and host builders, and all sorts of good stuff and updates and installation. But honestly, let's get started. Now, before I actually get into the installation, if you've been following along with the .NET MAUI previews, you may have gotten your machine in an interesting state. I know I did, because we've been installing with .NET MAUI check, which is a command line tool to install all those workloads. But now it's actually just part of Visual Studio, and it's one click away, as sort of always been with Xamarin and xamarin.forms before that. So the team came up with the .NET MAUI check clean old .NET 6 previews PowerShell script. I'll put a link to this on the .NET MAUI check GitHub repo, but I ran this first and foremost. I actually uninstalled Visual Studio 2022 previews, ran this script, reinstalled everything, and this just helped and cleaned everything away humanly possible. Now, over on the docs, there is a full guide on what you need to do to get up and running, including installing these 5 different workloads and toggling this .NET MAUI preview as well. So let's do that first. So I'm going to go and open the Visual Studio installer. Now, if you haven't installed Visual Studio 2022, you want to go and grab that from the website. I'll put links in the show notes. And you'll see sort of this picker dialog here, which lets you pick the workloads you want. So you'll want ASP.NET and web development, mobile.NET with .NET, mobile development with .NET, .NET Desktop, UWP, and desktop development with C++. The important part is when you tap here on mobile development with .NET, look at the optionals. Xamarin is selected there, but .NET MAUI, since it's a preview, is not selected. So you want to tap on that to get everything you need for .NET MAUI preview. Of course, Xamarin is also an optional, so you could uncheck that here, and probably in the future, who knows, they'll probably flip that around. But for now, since it's in preview, you'll want to toggle that on. And then you're ready to launch. Well, okay, almost. Hold on, just wait a second here. There's a little bit more to install. you'll actually need to install OpenJDK 11 over here is the first and foremost thing, because the Android 31 SDK, which is also required, requires it. So here, go to the Microsoft build for OpenJDK, hit download, and I installed the Windows MSI for x64. So you want to make sure that you get that. Then we're like super close. We're getting closer. The other thing we need to do is install the Android 31 SDK. I just mentioned it, but that's actually required here. So this gives you some information and updates specifically for making sure your OpenJDK and your SDKs are selected correctly. So what you want to do is make sure that you set this up, and then it should go ahead and prompt the Android SDK manager under Tools Options, Android SDK. So let's do that now. So I'm going to open Visual Studio and close the installer. And you can just do continue without code there. And then what you can do, let me pull this out, is do Tools, Android SDK Manager. And that should go ahead and open up the Android SDK here. Now, for me, literally 5 seconds ago, it was working fine. And under repositories full list, it showed me everything here. Now I've noticed though, and I reported this bug to the team, that I think it's because I also have Visual Studio 2019 here. So I actually needed to open VS 2019 and actually run the tools from here. So it's a different version, obviously. So when you run the SDK manager from Visual Studio 2019 and on the gear, select full list unsupported, you'll see Android S API 31, and you can hit just that one. You don't need the emulators if you don't want them, but you can turn those on there. And then you're good to go. You're ready to go. That's all you need. And you can close Visual Studio 2019 again. Now, hopefully that bug gets fixed up, or again, for you, it may just work, which is kind of cool. So that's what we want. Now, the last thing is for Windows WinUI 3 development, you'll need to install the single project MSIX packaging tools for VS 2022 extension. Now, if you install Preview 7 and you upgraded your VS 2022, it's just will be there. You'll just need to update it to the latest version. You can do that by going over into Visual Studio Extensions, Manage Extensions, and search for single over here and online, and you'll see a single project, or it'll be in your updates if you have updates available. You want to install it. You'll install it, and then you'll close Visual Studio, open Visual Studio, and it'll install it there. So that's all you need to do. Now at this point, let's double check it. We are ready to go. Now I do believe that the Edge WebView 2 installer does install when you include it, but in case you're doing the Blazor stuff, double check to make sure you have that installed too. Just double check it. I have always had it, so it's good to go. All right, let's do it. Here, you can of course just do File New, or if you have everything installed, you can say Create a New Project. And now what we see is that right here, we have all of the different projects, and there's a MAUI section right here. There's a .NET MAUI Blazor app template, .NET MAUI app, and a class library. So let's create a .NET MAUI app and hit next. MAUI app 10, that sounds good. And now at this point, we're gonna have everything that we need to start building our iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows applications from our new single project. Let's zoom in on that puppy. And what we can see here is we have all of our dependencies, all of our platforms, all of our resources, everything in one place. It's everything that you need, all in one project. We can see here we have our Android, iOS, Mac, and Windows, all platforms here. There's no other additional project heads that you need. They're all right here. Now you may be wondering, James, you said Windows is there too. I don't see any dependencies. Well, just in case you didn't have stuff installed, the template is still being worked on. So all you need to do is double tap on your project and simply come in here and comment back in the Net 6.0 Windows 10 and hit save in your project solution. And now it will show up right over here, and it'll sort of bring in all the packages, everything you need right inside of this. Now let's talk about this a little bit. We have our new builder model, which is right here. So we get our custom fonts that are in here using MAUI app. That's a lot similar. Over on Android, I like this. There's a main application, which is a MAUI application that creates the MAUI app. Over here, the main activity, look at that. Nothing in there. You don't need anything because the main application is going to handle it. Same over here, app delegate. Look at this. Minimal, beautiful, just really, really awesome just to kind of see that all come together there. Now, of course, we still have our specific app and our main page XAML. And in fact, if you go into app XAML, you'll see buttons and dynamic resources and all sorts of good stuff in there. But you'll also see the main page. And that'll have labels and text and our button counter application, all the things that you know and love. But let's go ahead and debug this right here. I can go into Framework and toggle that to Windows. And then that will enable me to debug right here on my Windows machine. So that's right, it's going to create my WinUI 3 application right here for Windows and debug it just as I would sort of expect it to work, right? And no other dependencies or anything like that, no emulators, anything like that, just running my Windows application from that single project. There it is. It's really big, so let's go ahead and make it a little bit smaller. Wait a second, there's 2 applications. What's going on? Intruder. Well, no. This is the XAML Live Preview. This is really, really awesome. Oli has been talking about this on all the .NET community stand-ups for a bit and presenting on it. This is so cool. Check it out. It's my app inside of Visual Studio right here, which means I can just put my app over on another screen or put it away just in the background, doesn't matter. I can start designing. I get these little grids here, which is really cool. I can make those different colors. Like, let's say I want it to be like bright pink, which is really nice. It'll help me like align and start making my application here. That's my real running app. So if I was to say, hello, YouTube in here, it updates in real time. And in fact, it is in my running application, of course, which is really, really cool. So I get everything in there, right? If I come in and I was to change this to be not bold, for example, and just remove that node, we can see that it's no longer bold. Let's put it back. Now it's bold again, right? Check that out. So you can change your XAML. You can change everything you want. Let's change this text here. We'll say text color to red. And now it's red. And of course, it's also red on my running app. I can click on it. It also updates right here. We get that snapshot of our app in real time. But what's even better, so I can actually come into my Solution Explorer and open the code behind over here, XAML CS. Check this out. And right now, whenever I click on this, I get count ++ and I increment it. But what if I wanted to say equals 10 and increment it by 10? Now, right here in Visual Studio, there's this new hot reload. I have it on for hot reload on file save. I can turn that off. I can just have a manual. Let's turn it off for now and just hit this cool little hot reload button. All right, what did it just do? It just reloaded my C# code. So when I bring this over and I hit this, +10 every single time. I can change this over here. So if I wanted to change the output to have a hyphen, instead, I'm going to go ahead and hit that hot reload, increase this now, and now we get that hyphen right in there inside of our running application. Our C# hot reload is working flawlessly, which is so nice. And of course, we also have our XAML Live Preview, so I can just put that over here, which is really awesome. All right, that's one platform. How about platform number 2? We're going to come in and in the dropdown, set the framework to Android. And now I also get all of my different emulators. So I have a Android R emulator here, and also my Android emulator API 21. And what you'd expect to do is hit debug. Now, this should be working pretty good. I've had to toggle the emulators here and there, but here it just launched my emulator. And now it's going to build and compile my Android application that I just created with my .NET MAUI project and everything that I need. So this should build up MAUI app 10. And I've noticed that sometimes, obviously, the first time running it takes a few more seconds because it's compiling the full application. Then after that, I've seen it to be much, much faster. So let's see if this now deploys onto my Android emulator as expected. So we'll give it a few seconds to compile up here and start a deploy. Oh, here we go. It's already deploying. Check this out. It's happening. It's going through some native Java compilation. Done building the project. I love reading output for some reason. I'm not sure why. But here it's doing final jar allocation for our application. And then, since this is the first build, right? It's doing a lot more here, and then it should boot up over here. So let's see what happens now. There we go. More Dalvik compilation. Signing the APK. Found the emulator. I just like, again, reading, which is great. And deploying. Here we go. We're in debug. .NET MAUI there, right? Of course, debug sessions always take a little bit longer, but now here's our application. It's up. It's running. And wait a second. Oh my goodness. It is our Android emulator inside of Visual Studio. That's right. XAML Live Preview works right there. Check this out. So if I increase this count, there it is. Oh my goodness. It's happening. It's all amazing. Of course, I can come over here. I can now drag it off to the side. I can come in and make this orange, get my IntelliSense coming up there. And now it's orange, as we could see. If I bring over my app, of course, it's orange. I can come back over to my code behind and maybe make that back to 1. Here I can just hit save. Now, come back over to here at the hot reload, and now it's increasing it by 1 every single time. I can change this to hot reload on file save, and I can get that back to 10, hit save, and now it's increasing it by 10 again, which is absolutely amazing. I love it. I love every bit of it. And I get that XAML Live Preview right inside of Visual Studio. It's really a delightful experience, especially that's going to be real nice if you're developing your application on a single screen. And of course, you can also turn on these grid lines, which can also help you sort of design your application here, which is kind of really nice. Just if you're looking for alignment and looking for pixel perfection inside of your application. And you can, of course, still even change those colors. There we go. Boom. So cool. Now, the last one here is going to be iOS. We're going to change this over here to our framework, NetIOS. And you can, of course, connect to your Mac machine and deploy to a simulator device plugged into your Mac. Or under a local device, I have my iPhone plugged into my Windows device. Now, this should boot up Hot Restart, which is a feature that came from Xamarin. I should be able to log in with my Apple developer account over here. And it should try to synchronize my developer profile. Now, I've been having some issues on this specific profile of my Windows machine. So what we're going to do is hop over to my other profile and account, which has the same exact bits, nothing different, but I'm already signed in to my Apple developer account where I can totally deploy to my machine. So let's head over there. All right, here we are back inside of Visual Studio 2022. And now you're saying, whoa, my eyes, now we're in bright mode. And this is my work account here. So I have it in light, normal blue theme. Now what we can see up here is that we have frameworks, iOS, and deploying to my iPhone simulator. You go into your tools options, you can go into your Xamarin iOS settings, make sure Hot Restart is enabled to sign into your Apple developer account. Bingo, bango, you're good to go. And then just hit debug. That's it. It's going to compile up your iOS application. And it'll start a debug session over here. Well, if it doesn't fail, so let's go ahead and pop it up here and try it one more time. And let's give it a go. So now it's actually provisioning, code signing, and pulling it up. So if it fails the first time, just hit debug again. You're good to go. Again, preview bits. And this is really cool because now what it's going to do is start to deploy this application to my iPhone that's plugged into my Windows machine. So if you've never seen this before, it is absolutely spectacular. And let's give it a go over here. So it's closing this file. I've screen mirroring my application over here to my device and just hit go. Now I have my .NET MAUI application right here. And let's see what it looks like. In my full debug session, there it is. I can click, 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 click. And of course, I get all that goodness right here on my iOS application. Just really awesome to see it all come together. iOS, Android, Windows, all from Visual Studio 2022. All right, there you have it. That is .NET MAUI Preview 8. All of that single project goodness all bundled up right inside of Visual Studio 2022 from a single click installation. I absolutely love it. It is absolutely delightful. And of course, you get all of that hot reload of C# and XAML. That means if you're creating applications where you want to build your entire UI all with C#, you can do that right with that hot reload, which is really, really cool. And that works across .NET applications. And you get this XAML Live Preview. It's so good. I love every bit about it. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this update video on .NET MAUI Preview 8. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell over there. That really helps the channel, tells more people about it. And of course, share the video with everyone. Let me know what you think. And of course, until next time, thanks for watching.